Right. Hello, everybody. This is Rosalind Brown of Your Wealth Guidance, and we are here for a Money Monday turn money moment. And we have another fabulous guest. And so, over the past few months, we've taken the time to really go through what your options could be like as you plan out what financial independence means to you. And so, we have Geronimo of Ashara Farms here live in Belize. And so I want you to introduce yourself, tell the ladies who you are.
Hey ladies, my name is Jeronimo. I'm here in Ashara land in Belize. We have one of the largest coconut farms here, the only lychee farm in the country. And we're taking our hand at making coconut products and lychee products and mixing stuff together and see what we get. Um, it's freedom out here. It's so peaceful. I don't know if y'all can tell and hear it.
I hope y'all can hear it or lack thereof, depending on where you all are from. As you all know, I'm from DC, so this is nothing like what I hear back home, but nothing but sounds of nature here. And so, really love for you to share your story about kind of how you ended up in Belize. Like, tell us that progression, how you chose Belize, how you ended up here.
Well, I was in California, finna cross the border over to Oregon to get land. And too many people was telling me don't go to Oregon, you can't protect the land and all that good stuff. And somebody told me about Belize because my next option was Africa. I was going to Seychelles. And I looked into Belize, I weighed the odds, everything come out good. The people are nice, their number one language is English. A lot of stuff just added up. Looked up, found some properties, found the lychee farm, bought it in like 10 days. I spent no time, wasted no time. Just I bought it, 96 acres, 4,000 coconut trees, 700 lychee trees, 20,000 Jatropha Kirkis trees. We've been planted already over 300 some different exotic fruits. We have over 30 some different medicinal medicines here. It was a no-brainer. They say Belize, man, I never even been out the country before. I bought this property before I even had a passport.
Oh my, now tell us that process because I think so many people are like, goodness, I want to do something like this. I want to do something similar, but they're like, goodness, I need to go see, I need to do 50,000 house hunting trips.
Nope. Go to the post office, get them your birth certificate, your proof of address, and fill out the application and get a passport and get out of there. I advise people to leave the country. I've been telling people to leave the country the last 5 years, and I finally got a chance to do it myself.
Now, about purchasing land, like how does one do that in another? I mean, we know the process in the United States,
Well,
you're using realtors
for
and
me in my
lawyers.
situation, this was a bit much. I had to put the money in escrow, and I had a lawyer on my side. They had a lawyer on this side, and they interchanged and did business. And it was really a piece of cake. It was like buying land back home, but it was like we did it online, because I wasn't here. I didn't come see the property, none of that stuff. I bought the property and I had to wait like 6 months, 7 months before I even came to lay eyes on it for the first time. I
So
drove
you
here.
did sight unseen, which is abnormal. Would you
Mhm.
recommend that to someone else?
If they did the proper research, like I researched it and I read what was on the property, and I seen like the coconut trees. I saw a drone shot of the property. I saw they had all these lychee trees, and they was the only one in the country. And it's just a lot of stuff that was like, man, click, 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 and the property wasn't listed as something that's like people selling. Like it didn't have no factories, they weren't working, there's no business, none of that. So it was like the perfect opportunity to step into because of all those things made sense. It all just made sense. They never once used none of this to make oil, none of that. They sell it to the other people so they can make the oil. Anything you wanted to sell it to you raw and go get it. It's somebody's hobby. It was somebody's hobby. So,
Now, how did you find this opportunity? Because this isn't like, listed traditionally, those kind of things. How does one find?
I looked it up. I found Keller Williams was selling property in Belize, and my next door neighbor, she's a realtor that works with Keller Williams, and I looked her up, and she sent me a few properties. It went from there. On the lychee farm was one of the three properties that she sent me. The other two were very nice properties too, around the same price, same size, even better in some instances because of the hardwood that they was growing on it. but the lychee farm stood out to me. It's like a sore thumb. I couldn't believe that it was. I had the opportunity for something like that. No, that wasn't listed online. She found it through her thing. She lived in Keller Williams herself from Alabama into Belize and found it for me.
Okay, I love that. I love that story. Now, so many things worked in your favor. So you just kind of took that leap of faith. Were there some mistakes that you made? I know you said you drove down.
I,
Like, are there things that you said, goodness, I should have thought about this or asked
yeah,
about this in advance?
yeah, I bought a brand new Jeep, 2021. Thought I was doing the right thing. I had my RV. And I was towing my Jeep, and I get to the border. I made it through Mexico. I made it through being bribed a few times, and you're gonna deal with that going through Mexico. Just have a few money for them. They be hungry. They a lot of people are really impoverished, and they call them all these other different words and stuff, but they really be hungry and just want a few dollars. But made it through that and get to Belize border, and they wanted me to basically buy my truck all over again in duty prices.
Oh,
They
goodness.
wanted 60 some $1,000s in duty prices for me to bring my truck into the country. I thought I would qualify as an investor or something. I'd be able to bring my truck in to maintain my farm. Um, they told me to sell my RV because it was no good for the roads. I could have brought my RV. Bring your RV. This is definitely a place where you bring your RV, it's gonna get full of scorpions and da da da. I should have brought the RV. It was a bonehead move, but then again, they will charge you duty by the cylinder of your vehicle. So if you have a 4-cylinder, it's like 48%. You have a 6-cylinder, 68% of the value of the vehicle.
Mm-hmm. And so
That's a
that's
big mistake. That's a
just to kind of know in advance.
I lost maybe $50,000 just selling. I had to sell my Jeep and my RV like within a moment's notice. So
Now, did you sell that in Mexico? Because goodness, you were trying to get
no,
in.
I sold it to somebody back in the States.
Oh,
They
wow.
came down and got it.
Came down and got it. So they got a nice little fire sale.
Yeah, yeah, they did. They did.
Now, when you think about it, and I always hate to be like, how much did you pay? And not necessarily how much did you pay, but if someone were saying, well, goodness, I want to come down and do something similar, or even if they just want to come, they don't want to have a farm, they just want to come and live and, relax and have a new lifestyle. What is a typical, if someone was just going to live comfortable? So you lived in California, you've lived in Alabama. If someone was going to live a middle class, comfortable life, what is a decent budget?
Well, here you have poverty and rich. There's no middle class here. You can survive on $1,000 a month, $1,000 every 3 months, depending upon your habits and how you
$1,000 a
shop.
month.
You can, because your money here doubles. So if he was here and you was working here and making U.S. currency, some type of how, back home, then it can be like a very good blessing. And making money back home and channeling it here and doubling your money, that can work. It's
huge.
property like across the street from mine. A guy wants like $75,000, 5 acres. You can definitely negotiate with him.
You hear that? $75,000, 5 acres.
Yeah.
If you're in the farming market. Now, what's on that property? Is that the same?
He grows. I think he has a few coconuts, a bunch of avocado trees, star fruit, limes. He grows fruit and he grows food over there. I've still never walked over there yet, but all those properties over there goes down to the river.
Now, tell us a little bit in terms of it's a difference between having citizenship rights or having residency rights and then the ability to own property. Now, tell a little bit about kind of the difference of those.
You can own property here, but you can't just like get a bank account. You're not going to just get a bank account like that. You got to be a resident first, and that takes you have to be here for a year first. So other than that, you just have to abide by the regular rules. It's not really many rules. Don't.
That's a good thing.
Don't be a jerk. The country is awesome. It's nothing much. It's like work.
So that's definitely something good to know overall. Now, one thing you talked about is as you are evolving your farm And so we have lychee, we have coconut, and you're doing a million things with the coconut stuff I didn't even know was available or could be done with the coconut, and so many different medicinal uses. And you're now exporting. Where are you exporting to?
America, right now. I have people in India. We're talking about some stuff, but we haven't started that yet.
And so you're exporting, are you exporting here the coconut oil, or are you exporting the lychee? Which, are you exporting the whole coconut?
Well, we just got permission to do the green coconut, and I'm trying to see if we can do these. If we can do these, it can really help us out a lot. The coconut oil is definitely selling. This is virgin coconut oil. We also make Fireheart toasted coconut oil.
Now tell us what we do with these.
See, you can cook with it. You can use it in your hair, your skin. You can use it as your other products. So like if you make soap or face products or body care products, any of that stuff, this is great to go along with all of that.
Oh, so if you're at home making your hair care products to get, okay.
Antioxidant and all that good stuff. It's very good stuff. You can drink it, you know, like I said, you can cook with it. It has very many uses. You can use that with baking soda before a shower and scrub your body and take off that top layer. You can, it's a lot of stuff you can do with coconut oil.
See, and this is, I mean, this is one, it's twofold, because you coming here is your financial independence. It is your freedom overall, but then to then be able to produce the natural health and the physical kind of manifestation of the financial independence too is really big. Now, you talked about you've grown a number of other things here. So you grew the 4,000 trees. Tell us some of the other things that you're growing.
I didn't do the trees. I grew, I planted the like stuff like Jabba. It's like a tropical grape tree.
Oh, wow.
It's not a vine, it's a tree, get big, it's like an oak tree, get real tall and had grapes growing all around it on the tree itself. I planted something called baboon cap, mangosteen, southside, rolenia.
Where are you getting these things from? Do you just
nurseries,
like go to, okay.
Nurseries and other farmers. It's 5 farmers behind my place. And a lot of those guys, they dropped off stuff to me like wild bananas and pineapple and cassava and maca. They a lot of people wish you share, like you can get them some stuff, they give you some stuff, you know. So I just wanted to grow a lot of I'm somewhere around 300 something different exotic stuff that I planted.
Oh, wow.
And I grew planted all around.
Now, how has this move changed you?
It gave me the product I've been after. I've been after just owning product. So owning product means a lot for people that wants to do good with business. If you don't own the product, price can always change. You always got to deal with a middleman, this, that, and the third. You do want to get property that has product that's beneficial to your own personal growth and to help others. Having product is key.
Now, where do you see this farm and yourself, let's say 5 years down the road?
5 years down the road, hopefully we can open Goyakla Village up in the front, and we can open our hair salon there, nail salon, barbershops, recreational fields, all this stuff up in the front, mechanic shop. I'm trying to create a whole little city vibe out here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of that, so you're going to create a whole city in this area. Now, how many, because would this be, if someone's like, I want to come to Belize, I don't know which part, and sometimes they say, well, where are the Americans? So they have some sense of community. Is this an area where they could say, this is where the Americans will be, or?
You can say that because this area, a lot of Americans is coming every day. There's all of the resorts and all of the tours and stuff that happen in this area. We have all the pyramids, the waterfalls, the caves. Everything is over here on this side of the country.
Now, if you were going to have a second best place, because you said you had never even left the country yet, so you were thinking about Africa, you were thinking about all these different places. What was on the list when you say, goodness, where would I want to go?
Seychelles.
Okay.
Seychelles, Botswana, basically Africa. I was gonna go or maybe to the east or the west.
Now,
And the
are
best of the
there
east or the best of the west.
are there things in those countries that you said I want to go there because of this?
Well, Botswana, because it's not really talked about, and
Mhm.
it's the #1 country in Africa.
Mhm.
And Seychelles, because of the stuff that grows there, the ecosystem, the atmosphere. But my decision started to change a little bit once they started getting those Category 5 hurricanes coming past there and tearing up Mozambique.
Mhm.
So it had a lot to do with my decision of trying to find a different place.
Now, one thing too, as you think about this whole vision and where you stand, would you have done it sooner?
I can't really say that because I had divine timing work. Like I needed to go through what I went through. So, but if a person is ready to step out, you're strong enough, you're capable enough to step out. Never be fearful, go after it. You know, it can be whatever, you go after it. People is back where they at right now, and they talking about going other places when there's farmers in the area that they never looked up or saw how the process go locally where they are. So my whole thing is talking to the farmers, getting to know people, offering your own services to people, and seeing what you get over time and build some type of sustainability that can help feed your family and you can help feed others.
Now, let's say someone is like, oh, this sounds good. If you are like me and I can't grow basil or any of the stuff they said you can't kill, is this a viable option or do they need a backup plan?
It's a viable option because here, how they say the soil is so fertile, you can drop a seed and get food. So that's actually true. Since I've been here, I bought a pumpkin from local, a brown pumpkin, maybe maybe a pound. And I thought it was old. It had the little moldy stuff looking stuff on it. And I tossed it off the porch. My dog grabbed it. They run around, played with it. Next thing you know, I got pumpkin patches growing everywhere.
Oh, wow.
We just harvest one other day. It's almost close to 8 pounds.
Oh, my goodness.
Way bigger than the one that came. The ground is super, super, super fertile and virgin.
See, I feel like you're going to set me up for failure and be like, I'm out here and nothing. Starving.
They have a saying in Belize that if you don't eat in Belize, you're just too lazy to eat. Because that's how much food just grows. You have everybody, almost everybody has food growing in their yard.
Now, we talked about, so there are people that can probably work from here. So US workers that have a remote type job that they can work from here.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a farmer here and you can eat whatever you grow. What are some other industries here that if someone was interested, they could say, okay, I could do that in Belize?
Belize industry, as far as I know, is sugarcane, bananas, and coconuts.
Orange.
And oranges, yeah.
And oranges, okay.
Banana, oh yes.
Yeah, but not like industry stuff. I haven't seen any like plants. Ain't no Coca-Colas. I ain't seen no McDonald's. There ain't none of that stuff happening here. Mostly people here work out their house.
Mm-hmm.
They build their own thing. They make their own stuff, and they don't cry to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
So the more people like that you can be in the community around, it's great to live. You know, you got places that people work hard. So that's another thing I love about this place.
Now, tell me something in terms of customs. Every country has something, you know, when foreigners come to the States, they're like, goodness, why do you all do this? Or why do you all do that? Is there customs here that when you got here, you were like, okay, that's different. I'm gonna have to figure that one out.
Just certain slang, maybe. Everything seems basically the same, you know. Basically just slang. Like we have natural stuff here, so you can be walking and come across poison wood. Poison wood is a tree. Some of it is black, the other one is white. But knowing the difference could be tricky because a lot of trees kind of look like it a little bit. So, and that's something that'll break you out, give you rashes all over your body. But the tree that'll heal you grows right next to it. So like it's just like little stuff like that, learning little stuff like that because this is truly natural, it's tropical. So it's not just pine and oak trees in the backyard. You really got some real tropical stuff, a lot of edible stuff, a lot of medicine. Like it's none of this wild stuff I hear is just wild. It's all medicine. All this stuff is medicine. Wild oregano, poly redhead, jackass bitters. There's so much different stuff just right here that grows wild. So back in the States, it's the same thing. We have wild things that grow, but they only call them weeds because it's not from the area. So you have a lot of wild lettuce that grow in DC. Um, you may have cherry cherry heart that's good to work mosquitoes and stuff that grows in DC. It's a lot of stuff that grows in our backyard that's medicinal, and here is just like flourish with it. Everywhere. Everywhere you look is medicine.
Now tell us, if someone is saying, yes, I want to order, I want this, 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 and this, how would they order?
Well, you can go to charland.com. Right now we don't have the cart. We're getting the cart installed, and you can be able to order shipping. We do the whole calculator where you can get a sense of how much it is before you buy. charlandtm.com will be is the website. charlandtm.com.
And then what are some things if someone is saying, I want to figure out where I'm going to go? Should they say, I want to look for a place that I can grow my own food or where I speak the language?
All that matters, especially if you're into growing and farming, all that definitely matters. I suggest coming to Belize. Belize is a beautiful country. It's growing. It's like 89% undeveloped. You have room to grow. You won't be bumping shoulders with anybody. You know, if you have a good product and it's good, you have the government that can help you create your product. You can use their machines and facilities for a little or nothing, like $5 for a machine, for an industrial machine. $5, which is $2.50 US. You can hire their crew. Like, this place is amazing.
Oh, wow.
This place is amazing. I believe go to a place like that. Like here, you go to the shipyard and get a machine built. You can get something built at the shipyard where people know what they're doing. We can't do that back home.
No, oh, definitely.
Like, I really like places like this because it's not oversaturated already, where you can't get all these things done in a nice time. Like
I got create this machine right here for Jeronimo.
I got all this stuff running and moving and building and built up since I've been here in now 10 months. And I wouldn't be able to do that in America.
Oh, wow. And so just simply being able to maneuver and get things done and get things moving. And even from an export perspective, the exporting is simple or easy, or?
I had to figure it out, but it's $1.10 per pound. And if you shipping on freight, it's the same price. You just need FDA and customs approval.
So you have figured out kind of all the individual. Now, one thing you're doing too, or you're rolling out, is the ability for people to come and they can stay on the land and they can have kind of that farmer experience.
You can come live, work, create, produce, play, and prosper.
Yep. And see, that's big in and of itself, just simply the ability to kind of try it out and see, does this make sense? You might be coming from like a major city like me, and there is no gardening that I do in DC, and you want to figure out, is this something that you want to do? So that's a viable option too. If someone wanted to do that, how would they go about coordinating that with you as well?
All right, they can just reach out, email chief chief@charland.com.
Okay, so chief@charland, and then they could set it up so they can come out, they can work the land, live on the land, kind of have that full experience and say, is this what I see my future? Yeah. I think that's a great opportunity.
Actually, it's chief@charlandtm.com. I keep leaving the TM off.
At charlandtm.com. Yeah. And see, I think that's perfect. It's just the whole full experience. And then just the ability to try it out. And I think it's always good if you can try it out with a fellow American, because you understand the transition that so many of us will be going through if we're trying to figure out if this is the place for us or if this is the lifestyle for us.
I wouldn't mind. It's a lovely place. It's a lovely land, and everybody gets along out here. It's peaceful. Small community.
Peaceful. It is amazing out here. I'm gonna take some photos in Athos as well.
It's the
Now-
garden.
Are
It's still garden on the planet that we don't hear.
there any closing remarks, any closing thoughts that you want the ladies to be aware of? Or thoughts, especially since you've gone from this this transition, this learning experience, and this like flourishing
I
here?
tell the ladies not to be scared of the journey, not to be fearful. Believe in God and go do it, get it done. Whatever it is you're trying to do, get it done.
That's perfect. Well, I am gonna cut the recording off. You got it?
Mhm.
All righty.